What is it about brothers and sisters? I mean, my brothers and I always get on fantastically well, provided none of us are in the same room, because then it just becomes a contest about who can be the most horrible. And it always involves some huge argument about... Actually, I'm never really sure what our arguments are about.
Take my brother Pete. Whenever we went surfing together, you could always bet that he'd choose the worst possible spot to go in.
Pete, what are you doing?
Going in?
I'm not blind, I can see that.
Then why ask?
Because this is a stupid place to go in. The waves are breaking so much better at the northern end.
So you going at the north end?
Well, I will, but I'm meant to be looking after you.
I don't need looking after.
So doing this to deliberately annoy me.
I want to go in here.
And what if you get into trouble?
I won't.
And what if you do?
I won't.
Fine. If you drown, don't blame me.
Arguments with my little brother were always like that. He'd dig his heels in, then I'd get angry and stomp away like some irate 3-year-old. It was even worse with my other brothers.
Okay, 2 pizzas with the lot.
Cool. I thought we were getting a vegetarian. Why did you get Ben to ask me what type of pizza I wanted?
I asked him to ask if you wanted one with the lot.
That's not what you said. Yeah, well. No, it wasn't. If you said that, I would have said no. You asked me what type of pizza I wanted, and I said vegetarian.
It's no big deal, Bridget. Just eat the pizza.
No one asked you.
Just take the meat bits off and eat the rest.
Yeah, I'll eat the meat bits. If I do that, there'll be hardly anything left. Why didn't you tell James I said vegetarian? Forgot. Well, is there any change?
No, I'll have to go home and get some.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. I was behaving like a spoiled child, and maybe I was. But this sort of thing happened all the time. It was like none of my brothers ever listened to anything. It drove me nuts. It was when we were out in the water, though, that the gloves really came off. We all competed furiously to get the best rides, and no one showed any mercy whatsoever.
Get off my wave, James! Oh, what a beauty!
They're gonna go so ballistic. Come on.
What were you thinking? That was my way.
Garbage!
Are you kidding? You must have seen me. You shouldn't have dropped in on me.
Dropped in? I was on it before you.
You think being the one girl amongst 3 brothers, I'd have been given special treatment? Not a chance. As far as they were concerned, I was just another surf rat who had to fight for every wave I could get. That's how it was. Every day of every summer, for as long as I can remember. And at the end of each day, the competition continued as all 4 of us tried to claim victory for chalking up the day's best ride.
So if we weren't arguing, we were competing. And if we weren't competing, we were arguing. It was like the 4 of us were constantly at war with each other until something totally unexpected happened, and I got selected to come here to Solar Blue.
Congratulations! Yes! Whoa, she's a good fan.
For the first time in my entire life, my 3 brothers actually seemed to be happy for me. I couldn't believe it. Was this actually them?
Mum put you up to this, didn't she?
She did, but we do it anyway.
I knew this one, so.
Well done, sis.
Thanks, guys. After 16 years of battling in the trenches with these guys, it looked as if we'd finally made a truce, and no one was more surprised than me.
Bridget? Bridget, where are you?
I'm in here.
Hey, Gary wants us down the beach. Surf's good, and he wants us out there before the wind changes.
Sure.
Is that from home?
Yeah. Can you believe my brothers say more to me in a page now than they've ever done in their entire lives?
It's weird, isn't it? My sisters are the same.
Really?
Ever since we moved out, we've become so much closer. They're really nice to me now.
Why is that?
Maybe you've got to get out of each other's hair in order to appreciate one another.
That I can understand, but they actually seem to be telling me that they like me.
Why did they never do that when I was at home?
Well, did you tell them you like them?
Probably not.
Probably.
Definitely not. No, I never told them.
So, there you go. I never told my sisters either. I was too busy picking at their faults and ordering them around.
Well, I guess you and I have a lot more in common than I originally thought.
Yeah, nothing like some good old sibling rivalry, huh? So you coming down or what?
Yeah, I'll be down in a sec.
Okay.
We've got about an hour, I reckon, then it's really going to flatten out. Here's the conditions. Milk them for as long as you can. All right, go on. Get out there.
The more I thought about it, the more I realised that in many ways, I owed my place at Solar Blue to my brothers. No other competitors would ever be as tough as they were, and no rivalry would be as intense. Compared to a day in the water with them, this was easy street.
Was that swell?
We should check the radar and see if it'll be the same tomorrow.
Nah, there's a high pressure system coming through, so it's going to be flat as a tack for the next 2 days.
Well, what does that mean for us?
Oh, don't worry. I'll think of something.
Oh, we were afraid you were going to say that.
Bridget.
Yes.
You have a visitor.
Visitor?
Yes, he's waiting for you in the office. He's waiting in the office.
Don't jump to conclusions. It could be a bull terrier.
Could be a duck. Oh, I don't think it's a duck.
It's a pity. I like ducks.
This is amazing! Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
We wanted it to be a surprise.
We?
Ben and I, we've been planning this for the last week.
Oh, Ben's here too. That's great. Where have you hidden him?
It's a bit of a story, actually. Listen, is there somewhere we can go?
Yeah, sure. Just have him put a shirt on and come meet everyone else. Hey, guys. Meet my big brother, James. He's just parachuted in without warning, as usual with my brothers.
Hi.
Hi. I'll be back in a sec.
Hey, man, Guy.
Pretty cute for a duck.
Oh, Cassie.
Sorry to intrude, just gonna drag Bridget off if that's all right.
Of course, we're always happy for families to drop in.
Hey, I hear you and your brothers are pretty keen surfers too.
Yeah, we try. However, Bridget's really set the standard getting into this place.
I bet you're all missing her.
Yeah, with no girl around, there's no one to pick on anymore.
You're not admitting to being a sexist household, are you, James?
Don't worry, Bridget gave out twice as much as what she got.
Why do I find that hard to disbelieve?
You're not telling any home secrets, are you, James?
Only how much you pick on your brothers.
Me? I am the most victimised girl on the Sunshine Coast. I should get a medal for what I went through.
I rest my case.
I don't know what he's talking about, but it's not true. Come on.
Sorry we couldn't provide any decent surf for you while you're here. It's pea soup for the rest of the week.
Oh, not to worry. It was nice meeting you all.
Yeah, you too, man.
Gary, I thought you said the surf was only going to be flat for a couple of days.
Just checked it then. This pressure system's going nowhere till the weekend.
So what'll that mean for training?
Oh, I feel some long-distance cross-country runs coming on.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's good to know you're all so thrilled.
Okay, so what's the big occasion? And you haven't even told me where Ben is yet.
Ben's at home. He broke his ankle a couple of days ago.
What? How?
Bit of a skateboard accident.
Bit of an accident.
You know Ben, he has 2 speeds, fast and very fast.
What, so is he okay? Like, is there any permanent damage or anything?
Yeah, he'll be fine. I think the biggest damage was probably to Mum's nerves.
Okay, I still don't get it. You said you came down here with Ben to surprise me. What surprise?
We were in the finals for a competition, or at least we were until Ben's accident.
What type of competition?
Sort of a race.
Sort of, bit of. James, you are driving me mad with all these half answers. What are you doing down here and why have you come to see me?
Actually,
Yeah?
I was kind of hoping you'd help us out.
Ah, I knew it. I knew there had to be a catch. Help you out with what?
Tell you what, how about we walk back up to the car?
James.
Come on, it's not far from here.
Ah, it's gonna be a long afternoon.
Put these on,
What for?
so you can use this.
What is that? A skateboard on steroids?
It's designed so surfers can do the same sort of moves on it that they do out in the water.
And you want me to ride it?
That's the idea.
Do you mind if I ask why?
It'll all become clear soon enough.
Thought you might say that.
Your turn.
You want me to do that?
Just treat it like a surfboard, simple.
Okay. Easy enough.
All right, now let's try a few surf moves.
Like?
Like, just ride it exactly like you would out on the waves. Got it?
How do I stop if I lose it?
You won't.
What if I do?
You won't.
Thanks a lot.
Like you were born on it.
All right, so now we've established that. Do you mind telling me why we're here?
Do you know a new housing estate around here called Cherry Hill?
Yeah, what about it?
That's why we're doing this.
Sorry?
Let's go suss it out.
By the time we skated down Cherry Hill, I'd forgotten all about grilling James on why he was here. As soon as we got on those boards, it was like a red rag to a bull. Suddenly, I was back home again with a brother to compete against. And there was no way that I was going to let him be better at this than me, no matter how much of a head start he had.
Little sister, you actually tried to take me on, didn't you?
Of course! And you were expecting me to, weren't you?
Coming south of the border hasn't made you any less smart, has it?
So, now do you want to tell me what this is all about and what you're really doing here?
A few of the surf clubs along the east coast have decided to have a bit of fun and organise a fundraiser at the same time. So, we've held a few race meetings and we've whittled it down to the last 4 teams.
Using these boards?
Exactly.
And you and Ben are one of the finalists?
We were, until he broke his ankle.
Falling off onto these?
Without protective gear on and going way too fast, I could have thumped him.
Poor Ben. He must be so angry at missing the final.
And then some.
So, let me guess. You've come down here to ask me to compete in the finals.
Is it that obvious?
That's what this whole demo's been about, isn't it? You knew I'd get sucked in and try to compete at your level.
To be honest, I didn't exactly know, but I was kind of hoping.
I bet you were.
So what do you say?
James, I've been on one of these boards once. There is no way that I can compete in a final.
Yes, you can. You're a top surfer and you're good at skateboarding. A little bit more practice and you'll have it nailed.
I don't even know the course.
Yes, you do. You've just done it.
That's the course.
That's why I'm down here. The Blue Water Beach Club is hosting the event. It's set out perfectly for you.
At this point, any sensible person would have said no way and bailed out straight away. But James was my brother, and for the first time I could ever remember, he was actually asking me nicely. And to my surprise, I was really enjoying seeing him again. For all that though, there were still a couple of obvious questions that refused to go away.
So, if you and Ben won the heat, then won't they object if there's someone else on your team in the final?
Ben was entered as B. Sanchez. B stands for Bridget too.
And they'll buy that?
I checked the rules, and as long as there's a B. Sanchez, it's legit.
So what do you get if you win?
$5,000 to the club of the winner, $2,000 to second, and $1,000 to third.
Now I can see why you're keen.
So it's a deal then? You'll do it?
There's just one small problem.
Which is?
I signed a contract with Solid Blue and I can't compete in anything unless they approve.
You think they'll give you permission?
I guess we'll just have to ask.
No way. Sorry, Bridget, it's not possible.
Why not?
But what if it was your ankle that got broken?
I'll be wearing padding and a helmet. I'm sure that it will be safe.
Unfortunately, our insurance doesn't cover non-surfing competition.
And I've looked at that. I can get a one-off policy for the day that I'm sure my parents will pay for.
Bridget, you've got to think of the worst case scenario. I mean, if you injure yourself, it could seriously impact on the end of the year.
I could just as easily fall and hurt my ankle in a cross-country run or get hit by my board while we're surfing. It's no more dangerous than anything we do in normal training. Look, my brother's out the front. Why don't I get him to show you? See, it's really pretty tame, isn't it?
These aren't exactly race conditions, though.
And we haven't even seen the actual course yet.
Oh, it's easy. James and I went down it earlier.
You've already skated down the course.
Oh, we have once, and it was really gentle though. It's really easy.
What do you think? Nothing much to get worried about, is there?
Why don't I make us some drinks while we discuss this inside?
Johnson, you'll be there. Come on, girls, pick it up for the last 10 metres. Coming in. And it's a dead heat.
What? Can't have been that close.
Was from where I'm standing.
You're just too chicken to make a decision.
A little bit of that too.
So you coming in or what?
No, I'm a bit too busy thinking, actually.
Oh, tell us another one.
No, but seriously, we have to figure out a way of talking Gary out of giving us these training runs.
So have you thought of anything yet?
I was actually hoping that you guys had.
You are so pathetic. Yeah, give us a hand out. Yeah, me too.
What am I, some kind of draft horse? All right, ready? 1, 2,
3.
What the? That was so unfair! 2 on 1.
Oh, didn't you know? Cold water helps you think.
See how many laps it takes to give you an idea.
What if we all came down with colds? Gary wouldn't make us run cross-country if we couldn't breathe properly.
Well, it's a bit of a coincidence, all of us getting sick at the same time, though.
Or we could vary it up a bit. Some of us could have hay fever.
Wrong time of the year.
Oh, you're not being overly helpful, Charlie.
Just accept it. We're not going to get out of this. He's already made his mind up.
Oh, check out these little doozies.
Oh, where did they come from?
Gary must have got them. You know, I've read about these. Apparently you can practice your surfing moves on dry land.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oi, why don't you say we take him out for a quick little tryout?
Well, do you think we should ask first?
See, the problem with asking is that people won't say no. If we just assume they're here for our use, then all moral dilemmas are solved instantly.
Haha, true. That's sneaky, but true.
What are we waiting for?
James went through the whole race procedure step by step. I have to admit he was pretty impressive. By the time he finished, I was sure both Beck and Gary couldn't fail to be convinced.
I'm sorry, James. I'm just not convinced.
Me neither, I'm afraid.
Really?
Look, maybe a couple of the details were a little bit sketchy. Why don't we go through it one more time?
This is seriously cool!
Yeah, beats doing cross-country.
Let's try for a bit more speed around the corner.
Yep, go for it.
Are you okay? Oh, no!
G'day. Just thought we'd pop in and see the garage sale. Got some nice stuff.
So it would really help our local surf club if we could get a placing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Beck, I'll get that. Tell them how much it's worth.
Sure.
Look, James, I appreciate this, but... Is something wrong?
It's all right, Beck. There is no race.
What?
Mum's birthday's coming up, and we know the best surprise she'd want would be a get-together with the whole family.
Yes.
But she'd never come down because she doesn't want to disrupt Bridget's training, so we made up the idea of this race.
Which your mum thinks she's coming down to see.
Exactly, but she thinks it's me and my brother, not me and Bridget.
But hang on, isn't your brother at home with a broken ankle?
No, he's in the motel here watching TV.
Well, why not tell Bridget? Why keep her in the dark?
Because we wanted to make it a double surprise.
Hang on. Let me get this straight. Your mum thinks she's coming down to see a race with you and your brother. Bridget thinks she's going to be in a race if we agree to it. But she doesn't know your mum's coming down.
Right.
Oh, this is extremely confusing.
Not to mention very complicated.
We had to make it this complicated in order to keep them both fooled.
Right, I see.
I don't. But at least I know what's going on now. Kind of.
Sorry, I was going to tell you in your office this morning, but you called Bridget in before I could. I've been on the back foot ever since, making it up as I go.
Well, you're doing a very good job.
Beck? We may need to go for a little walk.
Where?
Down the road a bit.
What's the problem?
Seems Guy and Charlie have decided to drop in on one of the neighbours using James's boards.
I am so sorry, Mr. De Silva, and I can't tell you how happy I am that nothing was broken.
These two were extremely irresponsible. They could have been very seriously hurt.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And you're very lucky I didn't call the police.
Far out, that's what I call a major accident.
Maybe we should help them.
I knew she'd say that.
What happened to the boards? You didn't smash them, did you?
Well, he...
No, I confiscated them.
What?
Well, these two need to be taught a very strong lesson. They can't just go taking over the road illegally.
But the boards don't belong to them. What about the comp?
Well...
It's all right, Bridget. I think we can suggest an idea here. Can't we, Beck?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Mr. De Silva, the boys don't actually own the boards. They belong to James here, who in no way whatsoever gave permission for these two to use them.
That's right. And if you confiscate the boards, you'll actually be punishing the wrong person.
But the boys have to understand the seriousness of their actions.
Couldn't agree more. Which is why I've been looking very closely at your garden.
My garden?
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that from now on it's going to be weeded, trimmed, lawns mowed, once a week for 3 months.
You can guarantee that?
Oh, we can guarantee. Can't we, boys?
Yeah, I guess we can. Can't wait to get started.
Where's all the other competitors? I would have thought they'd be here by now.
They're here.
They're keeping a low profile. As the two skaters came down the hill, there was something about the way they moved that seemed vaguely familiar. James, what's going on? Who are these two?
Don't you recognise your own brother's styles when you see them?
Brothers? I don't believe it.
Hey, sis.
Hey, Bridget. You're meant to have a broken ankle.
Don't believe everything he tells you.
Yeah, we thought you knew that by now.
Enough of all that. Here comes the guest of honour.
Bridget? Mum? What are you doing here? I thought you were at Blue Water Beach. This is Blue Water Beach. You said we were 100 kilometres from Blue Water Beach.
Looks like I got it wrong.
Surprise!
Oh, we got you good.
A year ago, if you'd asked me whether my brothers would ever go to so much trouble for me and Mum, I would have laughed out loud. Now the joke was on me, but I was happy that it was. How is it that simply being away from each other for 6 months could lead to such a huge change? Even after all this time apart though, the four of us soon found a way to get back into instant competition with each other.
Hey.
Here we go. Into the water and the fool's out. That was not out. It was not. It landed there. It went in. You couldn't even see. What? You were not. It did not hit the water on the full.
Ball.
Whoever gets it gets to bat.
You're not batting? All those warm and fuzzy feelings I'd recently had about my brothers soon went out the window once we started playing a game together. Just when you think everything's changed, you realise it's actually stayed the same.
I got it. I win.
In a funny sort of way though, there's something kind of nice about that.